I've had the Amazon haloview and the Amazon Halo app for about a month now. I want to let you know what I like about it and what I don't like about it and how it's held up in that month. So you know what? Let's get into it. Let's talk tech. I'm Arnell with Ardently Tech. On this channel we talk all things tech, with videos of product reviews, tech hacks, tutorials, and more. If you like what you see here and you want to learn more, click here to subscribe and share this video if you're a tech lover or if you just want to learn more about it. Let's get into the video. So, on Prime Day of 2022, I bought the Amazon Halo for about $45. That included the actual watch itself and a year's subscription to the premium version of the Amazon Halo app experience. It gives you access to a lot of different things that we'll get into in this video, but to start things off, I want to talk about the watch itself, since that's primarily what's gathering all of the information as far as your sleep patterns, your activity, your steps, your calories burned, all that kind of stuff. The watch itself is very comfortable. I went with the sage green option. You could say that I like green. I promise it's not my favorite color. So yeah, I went with the sage green option. It was one of the better options that you could choose from when you're looking for the Amazon haloview. It's a very comfortable watch. 90% of the time, I forget that it's there. The wristband on it is made out of silicone. It feels very comfortable to the touch. The touchscreen itself is very responsive, and it's honestly one of the best touchscreens that I've ever felt on a smartwatch / fitness tracker. The display gets nice and bright and has a lot of different options that lets you customize the watch, but without it feeling too cluttered or too complicated to get to the different options. You can change the watch face, you can change how you view the time, whether you want to see it in digital or analog. You can also see different things as far as what your steps are and your different activity measures as far as how you slept the night before, and a lot of different things. It's a very good watch, has a very responsive heart rate tracker, and has what I would say a very accurate step counter. It's a very minimal watch, very minimalistic watch in the sense that it doesn't clutter too much stuff on the screen. Granted, it's not a very big screen to begin with, but it tries to give you the bare minimum of what you need to understand what's going on as far as a text message or any kind of notification, or when you're looking at your steps, your calories burned, your sleep score. It gives you sort of exactly what you're looking for, and if you really want to dive deeper into it, then you can click into the app. Now, the watch doesn't actually let you send text messages out, but you can still read your text messages on the watch. It also lets you answer phone calls on the watch, but all that it does is really just hit the green accept button on your phone, and you still have to pick up the phone to actually make the call. So kind of a weird thing there, but at least you have that. Now diving into the app. The Amazon Halo app, is very feature rich. It has a lot of different things that you can dive into, and you can spend honestly hours getting into all the nitty-gritty details that you really want to get into, which is why you got the watch to begin with. It has a lot of useful information as far as what your activity is like. It helps you reach your goals as far as you set a certain goal of calories you want burned or steps that you want taken each day, or even just how well you want to be able to sleep. And it helps you to keep track of how you're doing in those goals and gives you suggestions on how you can improve to reach your goals and get past them. Has a lot of different things like different recipes that you can look up to teach you different healthy ways to cook foods, gives you ideas on different foods that you might want to try to make, and also has a lot of different things as far as your exercises, at-home exercises you can do, things you could do with weights, things you could do without. It has a lot of different things that I'm sure pretty much anybody could find useful as long as you have a watch, a smartphone, and at least 10 foot of space around you. You can start a workout on your phone, and you can actually watch the workout, so you can pretty much do a workout anywhere. But if you're at home, you can start the workout on your phone, and you can cast it to your TV if you have some sort of a smart device. Like in our case, we have a Roku in the living room, so I'm able to cast it onto the TV and watch it there, hands-free without my phone, and do all the exercises and everything that I want to do there, which is pretty awesome. Now, how is this app actually helping me in my fitness journey? Truth be told, I am not a very fitness person. I'm actually far from it. I'm very, for lack of a better term, lazy. If I don't have to do it, then I don't want to do it. This actually helps me to keep track of how many steps I've taken, how few steps I've taken in a day, since I actually spend a lot of my time sitting at work, 9 to 5. But it also keeps track of how I sleep. I have 2 young boys, and sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, and it actually keeps track of how I sleep, how long I'm in my REM sleep for, and how long it takes me to actually get to sleep. So it keeps track of a lot of these different things all on the back end, and it displays it in a very nice, good format that I actually really like. Now, this is actually helping me to be a little bit more active because it's almost like a game. It gives you points when you do various activities. You go for a run, you do an exercise, you get certain points based off of the intensity of what you're doing. So if you're doing an intense workout, you're going to get more points, but if you're just going for a casual stroll in the neighborhood, you're going to get a few less points, but at least you're going to get points for doing that. Now, on the flip side, if you spend too long being sedentary and sitting down, laying down during the day when you're not actually sleeping, you can actually lose points for the longer amount of time that you're actually being sedentary. So you actually are able to keep track of how many points you got through the day, and keeps you on track and on pace for what your goal is for the week or for the month. It keeps you on track to see exactly where you're at and the times of day that you were way too sedentary, the type of activities you were doing that you spent a lot of time doing, so maybe you want to do those some more. So it just gives you a lot of information like that to help keep you active, and in my case, it's actually helped me out quite a bit. I've been able to hit my step count goal for pretty much every day since I've set it on the watch as my goal, and it's actually helped me to be more cognizant of how I'm sleeping and how long it takes me to go to sleep. And when I wake up in the middle of the night, do I really want to roll around, reach for my phone, and spend 20 minutes on my phone in the middle of the night when I don't have to, or do I want to try to force myself back to sleep if I happen to wake up on my own? So it actually helps to keep me doing the right things and making the right decisions to help me be a healthier and better me. Now, as far as flaws in either the app or the watch, I really don't have any issues with the app itself. It's very good. It's a very easy and quick to learn app, and like I said, gives you a lot of different information that pretty much anybody can find useful. Now, the only issues that I have with the watch is really 2 things. The screen itself doesn't really show a whole lot of information, and while that's a good thing, I also think it's kind of a negative, and really in only one specific area: emojis. Now, as silly as that sounds, whenever you get a text from somebody that uses emojis, which in today's age is pretty much anybody, at some point you're going to send a text message with either a laughing face emoji, a crying face, an angry face, you name it. And if you get a text with emojis, you're actually just going to get a bunch of question marks, and it just kind of throws you off, and it kind of almost feels like it's sending you back in time 5 years ago, back when Pebbles were still a thing, and they weren't really showing all the different things that you would actually be able to see on your phone. So just for a sort of a smartwatch that is built in 2022, just kind of feels counterintuitive that it doesn't quite take advantage of what most people are using at some point in the day, which is emojis. The only other area that I really have an issue with is the actual build quality of the watch itself. Now, the wristband, like I said, is made out of silicone. Really don't have any issues there. It's very comfortable, very flexible, and is very sweat resistant for the most part. It doesn't seem to hold on to sweaty wrists and then ends up getting very smelly after a run or something like that. But the actual watch itself is not that great in terms of build quality. I've had this watch for about a month, like I've said, and it's actually gotten a lot of deep scratches and heavy gauges that I haven't seen in a smartwatch in a long time. Now, for most of my smartwatch history has mainly been with Apple Watches. Apple Watches are built very well. I'm pretty sure we all know that. There's no real argument to be had there. Whether you like the watch or not, that's a totally different story, but the build quality itself is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And I've had watches for a few years. I've had watches for a few months. I don't think I've seen a serious heavy scratch or a heavy gauge in an Apple Watch. Now, with this watch, Now, granted, I did get it on sale for $45, so what more can you expect? But for only a month's worth of use, and I'm honestly not doing crazy stuff. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not lifting weights. I'm not banging my hand up against the wall every time I pass the wall. So just from everyday usage of just sitting sedentary at your desk, typing on a computer, and, you know, playing with the kids every now and then, I've gotten a lot of deep scratches on the screen. I don't imagine the build quality actually, you know, lasting for very long. Now, with all that being said, I do still recommend this watch, and I do recommend it if you can get it on sale. I don't recommend it at full price, which I think is 90 bucks on Amazon. But like I said, I did get it half off on Prime Day, and that included the Halo membership for the year. So I recommend if you can get it on sale of some sort, 60 bucks or less, and as long as it includes the Amazon Halo subscription as well. That's where I'm really finding the most value. If I had just the watch itself, it's more on par with like those $20, $30 fitness trackers that you can buy that don't feature anything in the app. The watch itself isn't that amazing. It's good, but it's not that amazing. But the app in conjunction with the watch is what really sells it for me, and that's how I'd recommend you to get it yourself. Now, if you like this video, check out some of our other videos where we've done other topics such as the Apple versus Android debate, or how to make your Android phone MagSafe compatible, or just lots of different videos that we've touched on, whether it's reviews or conversation videos and other various things like that. Adrian and I are just a couple of dads that love tech, and we love talking about stuff that's just really cool, to be honest. Now, he's more into the podcast space and I'm more into the gaming space, but we both have a love for tech that makes our lives easier, that does things for us, that teaches us different things, and allows us to do lots of different things that we normally wouldn't be able to do without it. So, appreciate you watching. See you in the next one. Peace.